some others, at least to my eyes. Oops. Sometimes gotta stop and enjoy the current progress. Yeah, I do that far too little, huh? Always focusing on what hasn't been done, what needs to be done. Because again, a lot of this has been driven a bit too much by the need to satisfy viewers who are kind of tired of waiting. Saw videos with those collapsing when you're looking into them. I mean, they have their limits, but I do live in a space that is not super humid. I'm assuming that the most humid regions would do worse with these. The tops are not porous from the top, but the undersides are probably a little bit porous, so moisture would be able to get in. Super humid, gotcha. What exactly am I trying to achieve? So stepping back, not there, not that far back. Nope, not that kind of back either. Here, yeah. All right, so the a little too perfect. So there's a train track there, not this one, but there. That's a main line. So the main cargo line goes there, and then it goes underneath the terrain here. So this is a one tunnel entrance. It goes underneath. Then you're not going to see the train while it's under all of this. All of this will be covered. Have trees and bushes and stuff. And then it comes out the other end, or whichever direction that it's going. That's the turnaround. This is the turnaround for the main freight loop right here. And it also has an option to connect to the passenger loop, which is on the other side that way. So outside here is a connector to the other loop, to the downtown loop that's usually used for passenger service. But it is set up in a way that a single train could do both loops. The other connector, so this is a connector for one direction, for the other direction is that there. So that right there, with another tunnel exit / entry, connects out to the downtown side, which you can see to your left. So the right hand side gets the freight service for the most part. Oops, not up, down. Freight service over there, including yards. Ignore stuff under the table, doesn't exist. Left side has a loop for, well, it has elevated loop and it has a ground level loop. Elevated loop is light rail, 4 stud wide, and ground level is standard 6 stud wide. And so I'm just doing what must be done to get that all connected. Nope, not that. Yeah, that's okay. Let's get extra legs. Yes, and I do use that. So I use a combination of extra and extra legs and leg removal. So most of my tables these days, where they join, where there are multiple coming together, instead of having 2 legs there, I re-drilled and just have one leg that's shared between two tabletops. It connects them together so they don't move, and it also reduces just how many legs are visible since we do look below the tables. Ever stand in the city off stream and play with the trains? Not enough. I do occasionally. I want to do that a lot more, but most of the time when I'm off stream, if I'm in here, I'm looking at what needs to be done next and trying to figure out order of operations for the next phase of work. Makiard, good evening. How's it going? Real under construction. Yeah, I've done like construction zones stuff from time to time. It's fun. Had a 2011 iMac on one for over 5 years, and it had a sag. Super low cost, yeah. One more. Depends on the size of the table. Some of them, the widest ones, require a center leg. But these, again, it depends on how much is on them. You might put a fifth leg under there, maybe. Thank you, Omar. Yeah, it is definitely. This whole area here is definitely coming together pretty much the way I wanted to so far. Back from the Game Awards. Right on. Jusasip, no worries. Never apologize for not being here, please. Yes, never something to be sorry about. Thank you for popping in. Hope you enjoyed. Exclamation tunnel. Are undertable things in reserve or destined for parts bin? Most of the stuff that you saw in that one shot there is either going to be sold or go to the parts bin, but it's around the outside is where you get the cyberpunk district, the post-apocalyptic area, the underwater areas, the Minecraft area, and the lower section of the Planetary Defense Force base. So at least half of the space under the tables, well, approximately half the space under the tables is going to be used. And anything that's obviously not intended to be there is just temporary storage. Armored Core, Hades 2. Robot Wizard, welcome back. We managed to get more of the playing time in. Got the space open. Can even have a single loop. So relaxing. Yeah, if I can get to the point where I can just look and enjoy watching the trains go around, that'll be a really good point. That's definitely something to look forward to. MG Psycho Zako. For at $20 worth of other items, you got free shipping. Thank you for the heads up. Trees in the middle of a walkway. Thanks. Day off goal? Oh. Yeah, that's not something I could connect just yet, because there's still so much mess. I can't really enjoy this for what it is while it's in this state. Gunpla so affordable by comparison for the amount of time that goes into building. It can be expensive though, as all hobbies can. Most expensive, top 10. Yeah. Cheaper than keyboards, indeed. Gosh. What a racket. Talking about printed or molded keycap being like hundreds of dollars. Are you kidding me, for a tiny little bit of plastic with a single sculpt on it? The number of people who could do one of those sculpts in an hour for $10, you know? Crazy. Number 6, if you don't count titanium coating, based on new type listings. Gotcha. Wow. Do hobbies because you're lonely, wish to forget that, so your wallet is empty. Aww. Do I have a panel liner chisel? I do. Don't know what it's for? There are 2 things you can do with a panel liner chisel. 1, take a panel line. So this is not a Gundam, but imagine it was. So you get like some seams and things where you might want to be able to get that defined better. I'm not sure if you've watched me do some where I'm doing panel lining where I take a pen and then touch it, and then capillary action kind of pulls the ink in, and then you see that really, really well-defined line show up. A chisel allows you to make that better defined. So if it's a corner like this that doesn't have a good sharp edge, then you basically cut a very, very thin groove, fraction of a millimeter, that will then pull the ink in better. Or for people who are completely customizing, they'll take a flat surface like this and say, well, that's boring, and they'll mask it all off, and then they'll carve lines into it to make it look like there are access panels and other things that give it some interesting textural detail. The tool is typically referred to as a chisel in this hobby, but it's for scribing lines, indeed. Very unemployed. Speaking of Gunpla, how's it going? What were you working on today? Is it another leg day for you? So what are you legging on? What are you making legs for? Planes, cockpit piece to make a train front end. I've thought about it. I'm sure that I've tried it temporarily. Just think, what about this? I don't think I've ever committed to that, though. No, I have not. None of my current locomotives have have plain cockpits for the front, but that is something that is done in the LEGO world. Gundam Wing Verka, very nice. Love it so far. Good. I have that in my backlog. I'm not sure if I'm going to build it or Proto Zero Verka or both. Might do a little repaint for one. Might be a neat shape. Indeed. And a bunch of them are the correct width and everything. Oh yeah! Arcady or Arcady? How should I pronounce that? Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate your support. That's very kind of you. To what do I owe the honor? Really wanted the RG, but they only had the significantly bigger more awesome to display